What's going on, people? Joiner here with a pretty big J-Play update. You may want to make yourself a sandwich. This is going to take a while. Concerning Final Fantasy, I know a lot of people are like, where's the Final Fantasy? I had intended to start it back up a few weeks ago when I finally managed to get Disc 2 repaired, air quotes. However, that only really made the problem worse. The disc may look like it's free of scratches, but now it refuses to load anything past the PlayStation screen, on top of making this really irritating screech. So waste of $7. I don't have the means of obtaining it via PSN yet, which is the other plan I had, and I kinda don't want to be bothered emulating it, as either my computer recordings are choppy at best, or that means I'll have to start over from the Evil Forest, which will set me back several hours of gameplay, which leaves me in a bit of a pickle as to what I can actually do regarding this. I'd like to present it to you guys in the best manner possible, and if that means holding it off until an opportunity presents itself, well then, that's most likely what's going to happen. I do, however, have the footage shortly before this dilemma occurred, so if you guys want, I can probably whip up one more part before that J-Play goes back on hiatus. I'm not really one for appeasement, but I feel like I owe you guys something at least for waiting for so long. Next up is a bunch of voice-related things. Those of you that remember my acapella rendition of Terminal Velocity, I'll have an annotation if you don't, will know that I wanted to follow it up with more video game music, but I didn't. Mostly because I've set impossibly high standards for myself, and then I chicken out and put it off until I feel better about myself. I've had less time to do so recently on account of my current job, but I do feel more confident, and I want to give it another shot. I've already said this on Twitter, but I also want to try and develop a demo reel for voice acting and such. A number of people, online and off, have told me, "Joiner, you have a great voice, you should go into radio." And the reason I didn't is because I didn't have faith that I would do all that well. You probably know that already. However, this would also be one of the things that drew me into gaming commentary, and it's a good chunk of why the J-Plays of recent have been so theatric in nature. You've got Toho 101, you've got Metroid Prime, even the beginning of Ratchet & Clank are examples of this. If this happens, I want to see how far I can take it. Consider it a branching out from conventional J-Play. Speaking of J-Play, in an effort to make the channel seem more productive, I'm thinking of doing another side J-Play, time willing. Unlike Sonic 2, however, there won't be a 2-month hiatus in between. At least I'm hoping that's the case. Also, as far as Toho 101 is concerned, the next 3 games are being worked on. Wow, 3 games at once? And I have different plans for each of them. First off is Mountain of Faith 101, which will be more solo commentary. That much you could have probably figured out by yourself. The next one, however, is Shoot the Bullet, and this is a very unconventional Toho game by Toho standards. I'll start off with solo commentary, but the game's structure doesn't lend itself well to that. So what I intend to do after the intro video is to turn it into a competition. Announcing Shoot the Bullet versus! Here's how it's going to work. Each player will start at the first level in their target range, which will have a certain number of scenes to choose from. You can choose these in any order you like, but you have to attempt all of them to move on to the next level, and so on until your run is finished. Here's the thing though, you'll only have 15 attempts to capture the scene. Capture meaning you get all the shots you need to clear the scene. On top of this, once you choose a scene, you're locked into it, and you won't be able to choose another unless you A, clear said scene, or B, exhaust all 15 of your attempts. If for whatever reason you quit a scene before either of these things happen, you won't be able to return to it later, and it won't count towards your score. The player who captures the most scenes at the end of their session will be the winner of that league. Now there are 2 leagues one can apply to. The first one is the straight shooters, which will go through levels 1 through 7, and the second is the masochistic masters, which will go from levels 5 through 10, and then extra. You have 1 month from the moment this video goes up to get your entries in. For the sake of preventing any sort of cheating, your entries must be one uninterrupted video file. I'm going to try and make this as big a competition as I possibly can, and for that, I need your help. Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. Tell your enemies. Whoop your enemies. Whoop your enemies' friends. Befriend your friends' enemies. Etc. Maybe not that last one. Get out of my head, Nadaha, you're not helping! And while you're at it, you can tell them about the third game, which is Scarlet Weather Rhapsody 101. It's going to be in the same vein as IAMP 101, only that the game's a lot more user-friendly, and because of that, generally polarizing to people in the fighting game community, but I'll get into that when it happens. If you have any questions about Shoot the Bullet versus, if you're interested in playing Scarlet Weather Rhapsody and or doing commentary for the latter, you can either leave a comment below, you can send me a message if that's still a thing, you can visit the forum thread in the description and express your interest, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JoinerFusion. More options. Oh, alright, I'm just about done. So, to sum up, probably gonna get a PS3 and a digital copy of Final Fantasy. May take a while. Possible side J play in the meantime. I need another external hard drive though, so there's that. Branching out of the channel with voice acting related things. Possibly a demo reel in the near future. And Shoot the Bullet versus and Scarlet Weather Rhapsody 101 getting off the ground. Get the word out. Thank you for listening to me ramble for X minutes while the best adopted girl turned love interest for a man at least twice her age flutters about in the background. Wow. I'll see you in the next video. Probably Ratchet & Clank Part 5. Somewhere around there.